Welcome back to Flashpoint. Now we're talking with David Merrill. He's a Republican running for City Council at large. David, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much.
All right, give us an idea. Your number one priority if elected.
Number one is definitely public safety, with affordable housing very close behind that.
And tell us why. Why public safety?
Well, I live in a gentrifying area, and frankly, there's a lot of crime where I live, but I also feel that the Charlotte Metro Police Department have not been given the resources they need to keep us safe. I see all the crime that's happening in the news locally, the additional CATS bus driver that was attacked 2 days ago, the killing of Ethan Rivera. It is all intertwined together. And the primary responsibility, in my opinion, of the city is to keep all of our citizens safe. And I feel like we could be doing a much better job of that.
How do you feel about being a Republican in what is a predominantly Democrat and also as well as unaffiliated city? How do you make that jump in people's mind and make sure that you actually go from being just a candidate to an actual elected office?
Well, I think that's going to be an uphill battle. I think really the people of Charlotte are starting to see that they've been electing the same people in the same positions for years and even decades. And that's a big part of what's gotten us to the position that we're in. I've never had the inclination to run for public office before. This isn't something I'm doing because, oh, I think this might be fun. This to me is a call to action. I'm hearing the same calling that a lot of people just a few years older than me heard after 9/11 when they decided to join the military and serve the country. I'm doing this to serve. And I'm doing this to run for 2 terms. If elected for the first term, I will run for re-election once, and then hopefully have made enough progress moving the city in the right direction that somebody can come behind me, take my position, and do an even better job than what I did.
It's not often that we hear commitments like that from candidates this early on. You also mentioned affordable housing. We know this past week the City Council moved to create about 600 new affordable housing units across the city. They admit that that's not nearly enough. What's your plan on what is a Titanic size issue in the city of Charlotte?
It is a massive issue, and I hate to say it, but I think the current city council has done a lot to put us in the predicament that we're in now. There's a lot we can do, and frankly, I could talk to you about that for 2 hours nonstop. So I'll just hit the high points. Really, when it comes to affordable housing, we need to look at both home ownership and affordable places to rent, because we have people that do both of those in the city. One of the main things we need to do to have affordable housing for rental is to eliminate a lot of the bureaucracy with our subsidized programs, such as making it so that applicants can only apply to live in one home at a time, and then there's dead time for that property because they have to wait for inspections to come out. We don't have enough city inspectors to come inspect the properties for people to move in. We also need to have a more consolidated plan for requirements, because right now we've got intensely complicated leases and addendums that are making things difficult, both for the resident and for the property owner. When it comes to home ownership, there are great ways that we can subsidize this through programs such as first-time home buyers assistance, tax incentives for builders and developers, and then also revitalizing current inventory. One of the big problems we have is we only have so much land here in Charlotte, and a lot of it's designed for single-family homes, which is great, but we're running out of spaces to build.
What can we do about transit in this next session of the City Council with new blood on the council to try to get something done?
We need to improve our buses. We need to increase the frequency that they arrive at their stops with better planning. We need to improve bus driver safety, and we need to make sure that we have safe places for people to onboard and offboard on our city buses.
Final question, it's a two-parter. The best thing about Charlotte and the thing that drives you crazy about Charlotte?
I absolutely love living here. I moved here 10 years ago, just before the DNC. I've lived in South Charlotte originally. I just moved to West End from East Charlotte. I was about halfway between Uptown and the Matthews area, and it's a phenomenal place. I remember joking around with friends, and they said there's nothing to do with Charlotte. And I keep thinking, what's wrong with you guys? There's so many things to do here. This is a place where you can walk to a brewery, find a new restaurant. You could eat at a different restaurant every single day for a year. You can go to our phenomenal parks, our greenways. You can constantly see me running in the greenways, walking my dogs. There's just so much to do here. It's an exciting place to live, and I really want to help improve upon that. And I think one of the things that really frustrates me the most really ties to both what we talked about, the affordable housing and the transportation. I take the Gold Line frequently, and it is almost always late. I went to the Knights game 2 days ago for the home opener. The Gold Line was late, so I wound up walking about a mile home, and I got to my stop before the train did. I think that, and another big reason that I'm running that I've mentioned a few times, affordable housing. My area is gentrifying, and there's a person that lives on my street whose house was probably worth $60,000 or $70,000 10 years ago. There's a house that's being built across the street from him that's worth about $1 million. That neighbor that's been in the neighborhood for quite some time is part of the fabric of this community. And at some point soon, he's going to be priced out of this neighborhood. This is one of the biggest reasons affordable housing is so important to me, because I want that neighbor to be able to live here as long as he wants to. And when he's ready, sell that property at a great price, and he'll do very well by himself and for his family. But I never want to see him pressed out of a neighborhood before he's ready.
The situation facing a lot of neighborhoods, especially around uptown Charlotte right now. All right, listen, David Merrill, thanks for coming on. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
More Flashpoint after this.